Hello everyone, my name is Matthew Frailey, founder of BreakpointTrades.com. First off, hope everyone had a nice weekend. This newsletter is going to be a technical analysis, deep dive review of the precious metals market, gold, silver especially, the mining stocks, and other commodities. Again, we'll come back to this slide later. 2 weeks ago, on March 30th, on a Saturday, I put out this video on YouTube. I also sent it out to our paid subscribers. This is the thumbnail from that video. It said silver is going to make a substantial move that has a 4-year coiled spring pattern. This is an absolute textbook coiled spring. As you know, they're called coiled springs because the energy basically builds up like a coiled spring. When released, you get a strong pop. Well, since that time, silver broke out of here strongly. Gold's been rallying like crazy, as have the precious metal stocks. I hope you guys jumped on board this. I know quite a few of you have. It's been an awesome move. And here's the chart, updated chart of silver. You can see how it broke out of that perfect symmetrical triangle pattern. This is the bullish way to label a coil, A, B, C, D, E, with the higher low at wave E. Substantial breakout. And here's the updated monthly chart. You can see it's starting to slightly break out of this 4-year coil. My longer term targets on silver are up in the 40s. And I think over time, it's going to test the $50 range. I also think gold is going to go up to around $3,000. So pretty exciting times. I've always been telling you guys that precious metals would have their day. And that day, I think, is upon us. Again, my name is Matthew Frailey. I founded BreakpointTrades.com, a technical analysis company. We've been here since 2003, providing advanced technical analysis, market commentary, trade ideas, and advanced mechanical trading algorithms like our 21 mean reversion systems, which, by the way, just did a couple nice trades. A nice short recently closed out. And of course, our KISS systems, which have been amazing. Look at these gains. Meta and Microsoft in our system. These trades are up 51.25%, 25% respectively. You can see where the current smart trailing stops is. And, especially talking about the precious metals market, they're also followed in here. Here's SLV, systems up about 14%. GDXJ, gold miners ETF, it's up 16.5% and 18.8% on the GDXJ ETF. Again, I invite you, if you're just a YouTube subscriber, you should consider subscribing to our service. We put out 5 detailed newsletters a week, dozens of trade ideas. We give you access to these advanced mechanical systems. Again, it's a really unique place. We really dive into the technical analysis deeply. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to this general market newsletter on the precious metals. This is our backend recorder for our standard web page format newsletter. And I'm going to go ahead and get that recording started now. Hello, everyone. This is Matthew Frailey with BreakpointTrades.com. First off, hope everyone had a nice weekend so far. It's Sunday midday, April 7th. And this weekend, I'm splitting the newsletter up into 2 separate newsletters. Normally, we do everything in one, but I decided since the precious metals area and commodities have had such a move, I'm going to focus on that in one newsletter, and we'll do the standard technical analysis on the major indexes in a separate newsletter. So I split them up. So there will be another newsletter today. Anyway, again, this newsletter is on the precious metals, gold, silver, mining stocks, and of course, other commodities. Doing my introduction. Like I said, silver, baby. We're going to look at silver in depth, which had a major breakout a couple weeks ago. I put out a YouTube video on that specifically, talking about a coming breakout in silver, and I hope you guys follow that. We'll also look at some individual silver stocks that I've had on our watch list for the last month or so. Then we'll look at the other precious metals. We'll look at gold. We'll look at the daily, weekly, monthly. We'll look at GDX. That's the gold miners ETF. There's also other ETFs like GDXJ, SLIJ. We'll look at our BPGDM trading system, which gave an excellent buy signal on March 1st. Very timely, and some individual stocks. Then we'll look at the US dollar. We'll look at Bitcoin, which is on a coil right now, and we'll look at the other commodities. All right. Again, big week for the precious metals. Gold was up 4.6%, silver up 10% for the week. Awesome move there. Again, I hope you guys got into that puppy. GDX up 7%. Copper up 5.7%, crude oil up 3.4%. These commodities are running, And eventually, remember, the market liked a few weeks back when the Fed hinted that they may lower, do 3 rate cuts this year. Now we're starting to see some pushback on that. Karakarshi, can't remember his name exactly, but anyway, he hinted that may not even do rate cuts this year. If inflation continues higher, they may have to rethink that, guys. Again, BPGDM gave an excellent buy signal on March 1st. A couple news items this week. Again, here's the big ones. On Wednesday, we have the CPI, core PPI, that's inflation data. That's, of course, going to affect the US dollar, and precious metals and everything could respond to that. Wholesale inventories, NBA mortgage, crude inventories, and FOMC minutes on Wednesday. Thursday, we have initial jobless claims, PPI and core PPI. That's the producer inflation data. Again, like I said, there will be a separate video newsletter for the general market indexes. Next, image number 3. This shows you this is the thumbnail slide that I put out on March 30th, on that Saturday. I said silver is going to make a substantial move, has a 4-year coil pattern. Again, I know quite a few of you took advantage of that, bought a bunch of silver and silver stocks. Hope most of you did, because it's had a substantial breakout. Last week it was up 10%. This thing has a major breakout and could go up a lot longer term. This isn't just a trade. To me, this is a major swing trade. Next, let's look at the silver stocks. So here's silver itself, the weekly, up again 10.4% for the week. This was the labeling we've had on silver. We've had this labeling since last year, guys. So we've been monitoring this ascending triangle setting up. And this is the bullish way to label a triangle. Proper triangles are 5 waves, A, B, C, D, E. With the wave E at the higher low, that's your bullish labeling, and then that ends up playing out. Just breaking out here. Again, to me, it's got a long way to go. To me, pullbacks are now buying opportunities. Eventually, it's going to get a little overbought here. Maybe it's getting a little overbought here short term. But pullbacks are buying opportunities. This area now is a major support if we're to pull all the way back to retest that. But the longer term move now, in my opinion, is up. Next. Image number 5, here's the tradable ETF, SLV. Again, you can see this had the same coil pattern. Nice breakout. Nice multi-year breakout. Next, chart number 6, here's that updated monthly chart of silver that I discussed that 4-year coil pattern on. You can see my comments from March 24th. And just starting to break out of here. So if you think silver's really overbought here, if you just look at the bigger picture, look how far this could objectively go. Just the measured move of the coil, which is the height of the back of the coil, added to the breakpoint, takes you up into the 40s. But I think if we get up into there over time, I think that all-time 50 area will be tagged. Remember, that was tagged once in the late 70s when the Hunt brothers cornered the silver market, and in 2011. So it's tested that 2 times over the last few decades. And I think the 3rd time, I think it will probably break it. All right. Again, guys, I know everyone has thought that gold and precious metals are dead, that all the action is now in the crypto market. And that's true. We have had a lot of action in there. But to me, gold, I've always stated, gold and silver are going to have their day. And it appears that's what's occurring. I think these areas could go further than you can imagine. I think we'll see gold up in the 3,000 area. I think we'll see silver eventually up around the 50. Again, this could be a longer term hold, guys. If you're looking for a major swing, this may be something that you could hold for 1 or 2 years, perhaps, not just a trade. Next, chart number 7, here's the tradable ETF SLV. Again, you can see the same coil. First major supply zone is back here in 2012, up there around the 32 to 34 range. To me, that's a minimum target. Yes, it may stall a little bit at this, previous high in 2021 at the 30 area. But to me, that supply zone is your bigger target short term or in the intermediate term. Finally, here's the daily chart. You can see the same ascending triangle. We busted out of it. There was some MACD divergence. You can see that was blown out. So there's no longer any MACD divergence here. Price has been really strong here. Yes, again, I can now count 5 waves up. If you look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the fact we're at 5 waves up, eventually, guys, we're going to have an ABC style pullback. Okay. three-wave pullback. But that'll ultimately be a buying opportunity because longer term, this is broken out of a major multi-year range, and I think it's going to go substantially higher. Again, it may sometime soon we may see a pullback, but to me, I view that as a gift. Next, I get this question a lot. A lot of people want to buy AGQ. That's the two-time leveraged ETF, and you can do that, but it's meant only for shorter term trades. You could hold it for, a few weeks, a couple months, stuff like that. But the problem with AGQ, it's not something that you want to, if you want to play that monthly and weekly coil on silver and you want to hold it for long term, AGQ isn't the instrument to do that because it degrades. So here's an example just on the daily. Here's SLV. You can see the highs in May. We broke through that. Well, look on AGQ. The highs in May, we're still below it. So it's clearly degraded over the last year quite a bit, okay? Now, it really becomes glaring on a bigger chart. Chart number 10, here's a monthly chart. This goes back to the 2010 area. So here's SLV at the top. And so SLV, to get back to the 2011 highs, it essentially needs to double, go up 100%. It's right now around $25. So $50 would be a double, 100% gain. But look at the two-time leveraged ETF, AGQ, right? This would have to go up 21-fold to get back to the highs, 2,170% basically. I can't see the exact price. It's in the low 30s here. But look at the highs. It's up in the 700s. So that's why if you're looking to hold silver for the long term, maybe going back to the 2011 highs, to me, AGQ is not the instrument for you. SLV, the ETF, or gold futures. Next. Here's another interesting thing. So as you know, we have these KISS systems, and eventually, I know it seems like it's never going to happen. We're going to release these higher performance versions. We've had a bunch of technical issues, is why we haven't been able to do so. Again, the standard KISS systems have been absolutely killing it, as you know, if you've been following them. But here's SOV, one of the high performance systems I'm going to have on there. This is based on a 130-minute chart. Remember, there's 3 bars and 130-minute bars in a day. And here's the traditional SLV buy and hold. And of course, here's some recent trades by the system. Went long in mid-February there, got out, and then got back in on April 2nd there. But anyway, look at the gains here. And I haven't updated for this year yet, 2024. This is at the close of last year. You can see the KISS system averages about 11 trades a year. Max drawdown only, historical drawdown only 7.3%, average drawdown of 5%. All right. And actually, this little typo though, there should be up 0.33%. But anyway, look at buy and hold. So $10,000 on buy and hold starting from 2007 would have turned into only $16,000, $17,000. That's reinvesting. That's just keeping you invested the whole time. Well, look at the KISS system. $10,000 would have turned into $600,000. So it's orders of magnitude higher returns than simple buy and hold. If you look at buy and hold here, the average yearly gain has been 6.6%. It's been almost 30% for the KISS system. So, a good 5 to 6 times better, right? And you can see, a good half of the years are down on buy and hold. Most of the years are up on the KISS system, right? So, 2013, buy and hold lost 36%. KISS system only lost 2.5%. You can see the stark differences here. KISS system made 16.7% last year. Buy and hold lost 1%. So eventually, this will also be on the website. Next, let's look at some individual silver stocks that I've had on our watch list. I put out AGQ a few weeks ago. I pointed out this, it had a big correction from the 2021 highs. It was up there at 23 bucks. It had formed a very obvious falling wedge. When I posted it, it was still in the wedge, and you could see the bullish labeling, A, B, C, D, E. Look at the breakout, up 32% this week. That is a substantial move. The ratio's broken. If that silver really does what we think it could do, if this thing goes back to the last highs, that's a hell of a percentage move. This could still have a long way to go. Chart number 13, here's silver. This is our CDE. That's a silver stock. It's been around a long time. Had a nice long-term base. I also pointed this out a few weeks back. Well, last week it was up almost 30%. congrats to those of you who bought some of these. Let's look at some others. Here's EXK. It's a small silver stock. I put it out back in February, and it triggered on March 1st there on this nice trend line break on expanding volume. Ratio trend line broke. And look at this move since. It triggered up around the $1.60 range. It's now, it's almost doubled. Jumper 15, here's PAWS, another silver stock, breaking out of a weekly long-term pattern. So I'm just giving you some ideas on some individual silver stocks here, guys. Here's WPM, Wheaton Precious Metals, primarily silver, does some gold too. Very bullish looking chart here. Looks like it's on the verge of a breakout. Jumper 17, FSM, here's a lower price silver stock, broken out of a nice base here. Good volume. This could have a long way to go. And chart 18, here's SVM, another silver stock, another lower priced one. Bounced off the demand zone here, kind of a nice weekly double bottom. And here's a cheap one here, EMX. It's just below $2. So there's you a handful of individual silver stocks. I hope you guys bought AG and CDE at least. But here's a nice list for you to monitor. Let's move on to gold. Jumper 20, here's gold. Again, the gold up 4.8% for the week. Remember, we had this kind of ascending triangle pattern. We busted it out of this nicely over about a month ago. Nice follow through. Looks great. Again, it's getting a little overbought here short term. This is eventually going to have a pullback, but to me, pullback would be a buying opportunity. Jumper 21, here's the monthly chart. And this chart I've had, guys, I've had this since 2022. So I've labeled this as kind of a big cup and handle pattern. It's not textbook, obviously, but to me, this looked like a wave 3. This looked like a large wave 4 correction of a handle. And I've been stating that I think gold was in a third wave up move. Well, after breaking out of resistance here, it really looks like this is a wave 3. Eventually, you're going to have a wave 4 pullback, but then you have another move up in a 5. I think over time, gold could go up into the 3,000 range. Next, Jumper 22, here's gold on the daily chart. Again, hell of a move from that little channel break. That was a nice clean area to go long right here on this trend line break of the channel, on the ratio, on the RSI. The stocks have been leading up here, which is good. You always want to watch what the stocks are doing. They tend to lead. So right now, this is a wave C or 3. Eventually, we're going to have a fourth wave pullback, like I said. Again, this is a good move. There's no MACD divergence. Obviously, it is a bit overbought, but no divergence. Next. Jumper 23, here's GLD. This is a 2-hour time frame. So just looking at the 2-hour time frame, we've had this labeling in place. I've been stating this looked like a nested one, that wave 5 was extending, and it appears we're in this wave 3 of 5. So soon we're going to have a little wave 4 pullback here. It could start as early as this week maybe. But to me, I think that'll be a wave 4, and then it gets another move up in a 5. And then after that, then I think maybe we have our, so let's say it were to occur here, and then we go up and complete this 5. Then I think we have a better ABC pullback, and that'll be the area to look at, taking another position. So just giving you a heads up of what I'm seeing. Next. Jumper 24, looking at gold, precious metal stocks. Here's GDX, the gold miners ETF, the most popular ETF for this area. Broke out of this coil pattern last week. Nice follow through here. Added a downtrend line from the 2020 highs. That could be the first major target, perhaps. This broken trend line is now support. Next, Jumper 25. Here's the daily chart. Again, we were showing this downtrend channel January and February. We talked about the demand zone, which it held, tested there twice. Then you had a nice clean break of the channel trend line right here on March 1st, expanding volume, trend line break on the GDX GLD ratio, trend line break on the RSI trend line. Excellent trigger there, was very objective. You could have went long here, put a stop right at the low. Anyway, nice move, had a consolidation here in March, then broke out, took out this supply zone. So no MACD divergence here either. Next. Jumper 26, here's another daily chart of GDX. So again, to me, this labeling, either wave 1 or A, 2 of B, 3 of C. I'm viewing this more as a 3 of C. Next, shorter term, here's a 60-minute chart of GDX. You can see the little triangle that was set up there in March, which we broke out of. Right now, we're a steep channel. We do have a little MACD divergence here on the 60 at the moment. Again, I'd watch the channel trend line here and the ratio trend line. Again, to me, this is for shorter term signals. If you wanted to take some profits, longer term, the trend is up. Some other ETFs, here's SILJ. That's the Silver Junior ETF. Again, nice rally off the demand zone, made new highs. And chart number 30, here's the BP GDX trading system. This is based on the bullish percent gold miners index. It's a Renko chart. Remember, gives very clean buy and sell signals. Look at these signals here. Again, they're not always perfect. You see a little whipsaw here. I think this was a little whipsaw as well back there. But otherwise, the majority of these have been very clean, very good trades. You can see this triggered timely right at the March 1st bottom. And I pointed this out well before it triggered. Chart number 31, here's GDX with the BPGDM signals on it. So the longs are shown in blue, shorts are in red. And you can see, again, it's not ever going to pick tops and bottoms, but it's going to catch maybe 70% of the trend. So you can see the short there was an excellent short back in 2022. Look at that. Then it had a little couple whipsaws here where it had a long and a short. Then it had a nice long there, nice short, nice long, nice short, nice long, nice short, and of course in the nice long on March 1st, which is still in. The BPGDM is now getting up there. It's not quite overbought, but it has moved up quite a bit, so just pointing that out. Next, moving on to some individual stocks here. Here's GFI, Goldfields. I was showing that a few weeks ago, and a coil finally broke out of that coil. Chart 33, SA, another one of the gold stocks. Showed this a while back. It's had a nice move after breaking out of that pattern. Just want to give you a view, guys, under the surface what these individual stocks look like. Here's AEM, the weekly chart, broke out of this consolidation pattern. Chart 35, here's the daily chart of AEM. Got this 5-wave uptrend so far. No MACD divergence here, though, so wave 5 is likely still unfolding. Chart 36, GOLD weekly chart, that's Barrick Gold. Slight break of this pattern here, held that demand zone back here. Your next major resistance is this downtrend line for the 2020 highs. Newmont, which is kind of a dog, and it's actually the biggest component of GDX. Nice move, up 10.6% for the week. It held this double bottom support from 2020. Now it's tested the trend line here. Chart 38, DRD, another little smaller gold stock, starting to break out of a channel here, up 8.2% for the week. Chart 39, NFGC. Here's a low-priced one. A lot of times what happens with these precious metal stocks, guys, the big items go first, and then a lot of the smaller junior stocks will go. So you might want to start looking for some smaller, lower-priced junior plays because they will start to play some catch-up. So here's one off the bottom, nice base, nice volume. And here's Goro, another cheapie. What is this? 62 cents. So those could be a couple speculative plays you might consider. Next, moving on to the other commodities. First off, here's the US dollar. So US dollar rallied up, so far stalled at this first supply zone, pulling back. If it gets through here, you got another supply zone up here. Again, the gold's done very well here, gold and silver, despite the dollar not really pulling back much. And actually, it did well when the dollar was going up here. Bigger picture, here's the weekly view of the dollar. It's kind of in this coil pattern, still holding this 200-week moving average for now. Chart number 43, here's Bitcoin. As I stated, it's in a coil pattern. It's up this weekend. Let's see. To me, this looks like a 4th wave coil. Wouldn't be surprised if this breaks to the upside. Moving on to other commodities, here's DBC. This is the weekly commodity ETF, up 3.4%. You're forming a big coil pattern, or now we're testing the top portion of the coil. Chart number 45, here's DBC commodity ETF on the monthly. Again, commodities started their major move in 2020. They had an ABC consolidation in 2022 into early 2023. But to me, it looks like this may want to run again. The MACD's recycle back to 0. Look at your moving average ribbon pinching here. this could be an area to launch up. Chart number 46, here's DBA. That's the agriculture ETF. One hell of a breakout this year. Remember, broke out of this channel, started its bull market in 2020. You had a resistance here, which we finally busted out of. Here's the weekly chart. I've had this cup and handle pattern since January, and this has played out. Why do you think it's so expensive at the grocery store? You can see why. Look at these agriculture commodities. Here's the daily chart of DBA, still holding up very well, getting a little overbought, but still holding that 9 EMA. Chart number 40, here's crude oil. Nice rally in crude oil. There's a supply zone up in here. Energy stocks have done well, as you know. That's another inflationary thing. Here's crude on the weekly. It's been holding this 200-week moving average. Chart number 51, natural gas. This is the one commodity that hasn't been running. Right now it's on a coil here, so I'm kind of watching to see which way this breaks. Chart number 52, here's copper, big breakout. Again, another 5.7% this week. It broke out a month ago from that weekly coil pattern, inflationary item as well. Chart number 53, here's the daily chart of copper. It's now testing the early 2023 highs, so it could be a little short-term resistance. This could also be a big cup and handle that's forming. Look, if you get a little pullback here. Obviously, the copper stocks have done well. FCX, Freeport-McMoRan, big breakout there. SCCO is another one. Looking at some of the energy plays, here's XLE. Energy stocks have been rallying like crazy. Nice move from this channel. Heck of a move. Here's ExxonMobil, the big one. We put it out as a long back here in January in the 90s. It's now in the $1.20 range. Awesome percentage move. And here's Warren Buffett's favorite oil stock, Occidental Petroleum. Nice move in this puppy as well the last couple months. Finally, chart number 58, here's Coca. You've been hearing Coca has been just on fire. Look at this move in Coca. It's essentially went parabolic. Still holding that 9 EMA for now. It is getting quite extended here, but you know, this thing is, you know, went up a couple 100% in just a short time. Uranium market's also been doing well here. Rallied off the demand zone, consolidating here a little bit the last couple days. And here's the final chart, uranium on the monthly chart. I was bullish on uranium back in 2020 when it broke out of this multi-year base. Had a nice good rally, doubled, and then it consolidated into a coil, 2022-23. We then went back long in last year on that coil break, and it's had a nice move. I think longer term target's still up in this supply zone, way up here in the 40s. All right, guys, that'll do it. Like I said, there'll be one more newsletter here. Just decided to split it up this week into commodities and the indexes. All right, have a great rest of your Sunday. Thank you for your support. On our YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, comment. It really helps the algorithm. I'm trying to grow that channel so that we get more exposure. Anyway, take care.